You really played that card? Huh? Did you honestly think it was your move to end the game? You smiled, you laughed, you made your play, and now everything's spiraling out of control. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. It's not me who's losing. It's you. Because sometimes the smallest, quietest move, the one you think is harmless, ignites a wildfire that no one can stop. This is a story about those moments when you're pushed so far, broken so deep, and underestimated so badly that you rise in silence, not as a victim, but as a force no one ever prepared for. The kind of power that turns pain into strategy, scars into armor, and betrayal into your greatest weapon. This isn't just motivation, it's the dark truth of silent revenge, the secret power hidden inside every broken soul that refuses to be defeated. Brace yourself. This is your invitation to watch the game flip, to hear the unheard roar, and to find the fire inside when everything else burns down. Because you really played that card. Now watch what happens next. They think when you finally break, it's gonna be dramatic. That you'll scream, shout, throw things, cry, go insane in front of everyone. That's what they wait for. That's what they want. But the truth is, when the first blow really lands, the one that changes everything, it's not loud at all. It's dead quiet. It comes when you're alone, staring at the ceiling, fists clenched so tight your nails dig into your skin. It comes like a whisper that punches harder than any scream ever could. It's that silent stare into the mirror when you realize no one's coming, no one's fixing this, and if something's gonna change, it has to be you. That's the first blow. It's not when they hurt you, it's when you finally feel it. And oh, that moment, it doesn't announce itself. It doesn't knock politely. It crashes through your chest without a single sound. That's when the Joker in your soul starts laughing. Not out of joy, but out of realization. The realization that the world doesn't owe you anything. That all your kindness, patience, you're waiting for people to understand. None of it bought you peace. None of it made them stay. They left anyway. They laughed anyway. And now here you are with your jaw tight, heart on fire, mind louder than any siren. But your lips still because silence has become your language now. Not because you're weak, but because you're dangerous. You've tasted your lowest and it didn't destroy you. It introduced you to yourself. That's what they don't see. That's what they'll never understand. They saw you as soft, emotional, easy to dismiss. But inside, something darker was forming. Not evil, awareness. That feeling of wow. So this is how it is. This is what people are really like. That awareness cuts deeper than betrayal. And the next morning, when you get up, your steps sound the same. Your face looks the same, but everything's different. Your thoughts have sharpened. Your eyes colder. Your movements calculated. You've stopped explaining yourself, stopped justifying your existence. And the silence, it's not confusion, it's planning. You used to be the one who gave second chances, didn't you? You used to be the one who hoped, who waited, who believed they'd change. But not anymore. That first blow flipped the script. Now you're the observer, the one who sees everything. Every fake smile, every word dripping with manipulation, every so-called joke hiding knives. You don't react anymore. You just note it. Because the game has changed. And they don't even realize they're not in control anymore. You are. You don't want revenge. That's not what this is. This isn't about making them pay. It's about making you rise. They think they got away with it. But the silence is just the quiet before your storm. You're not angry anymore. You're awake. And waking up changes everything. Because now your moves are not emotional. They're strategic. Now your days are not wasted hoping. They're spent building. They're spent becoming. The Joker didn't snap out of nowhere. He watched. He waited. He took the pain, twisted it into a grin, and turned the whole system on its head. That's what the first blow does. It turns victims into masterminds. It flips the weak into wild cards, the kind of people nobody sees coming until it's too late. They'll ask, "What happened to you?" You'll smile. You'll say nothing. "I just finally stopped pretending." Because now your silence isn't a cry for help. It's the sound of focus, the sound of rebuilding, of laying bricks in a world they can't even see yet. And when it's finished, when you finally walk through the storm, as the version of yourself they never believed could exist, they'll be too busy choking on their own surprise to even clap. Because the first blow never comes loud. It's not the scream, it's the silence right after. That pause, that breath, that still moment when something inside you clicks and nothing is ever the same again. They thought breaking you meant ending you, like shattering your heart or humiliating your name would bury your strength. They thought if they hurt you bad enough you'd disappear, shrink, collapse. They never understood the kind of soul that doesn't break down, it breaks open. And once it does, there's no going back. There's no rewind. You don't rebuild the same. You don't stitch yourself back into the old design, no. You rise as someone new, someone different, someone they can't recognize or predict anymore. See, what breaks you doesn't just scar you. It reprograms you. It scrambles the code they thought they understood. Your kindness, once taken for granted, becomes calculation. Your silence, once seen as weakness, becomes resistance. Your heart, once soft and wide open, becomes locked with keys even you don't remember where you hid. You walk through the same places, but you're not the same person. The air feels different now. The smiles feel sharper. The conversations feel hollow. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Your vision evolved. There's a version of you that only pain could introduce. The wild one. The unbothered one. The one that doesn't flinch at silence, doesn't beg for validation, and doesn't entertain fake love. That version is born from fire. And once you meet them, you don't go back. You don't unsee. You don't unfeel. You don't unlearn. They thought they were crushing you when they left, when they lied, when they laughed behind your back. But all they did was trigger your awakening. They didn't know the damage they caused was exactly what you needed to unlock your next level. They didn't break you, they freed you from the illusion, from the mask, from the fear of being too much, too intense, too loud. And now that you're here, fully aware, fully alive, fully dangerous, you don't ask for space. You take it. What breaks you builds you, but not the way they expect. It doesn't make you harder, it makes you sharper. You don't lose your emotions. You just learn to use them like fuel. You don't stop loving, you just stop handing it out like candy. You learn that peace isn't something you ask for. It's something you protect with everything you've got. Because the new you knows vulnerability is sacred. Time is sacred. Your energy is sacred. And now, you don't give it out for applause. You give it only to what feeds you back. And when they see you now, they get confused. They say you've changed. And you have. You've changed the way storms do. The way volcanoes do. Quiet. Then, unstoppable. They look in your eyes and search for the old version. The one who used to wait for them, cry for them, explain themselves 100 times. But that version is gone. buried under nights of rage, overthinking, doubt, betrayal, and awakening. In its place stands someone terrifying, not because you're evil, but because you're no longer under anyone's control. It's funny, isn't it? The very people who broke you will be the first to ask why you're so guarded now, why you don't trust, why you don't laugh the same. And you'll laugh, not out of joy, but because, wow, the irony. They handed you the hammer and now they're mad the mirror's shattered. They pressed the button, and now they can't handle the explosion. You're not angry anymore. You're not out for revenge. You don't need to prove anything. The damage is done. But so is the transformation. You're not here to convince anyone of your worth. You're here to build an empire out of all the pieces they tried to bury. And when they come knocking again, and oh, they will, they won't find a wounded soul waiting to be rescued. They'll find a legend in the making. Because what breaks you doesn't define you. It refines you. Pain doesn't knock on your door with flowers and a soft voice. No. It kicks the door open, throws your life into chaos, and dares you to try and survive it. And in those first moments, it feels like everything is falling apart. Your chest is heavy, your throat is tight, your thoughts spiral into darkness so fast it feels like you'll never find your way out. You sit there shaking, breathing slow, eyes filled with that why me rage, and it feels like you've reached the end. But what if I told you that moment isn't the end? It's the beginning. It's not your destruction. It's your invitation. See, pain doesn't just hurt. It calls. It whispers in your ears, "Are you done playing small?" It shows you every fake relationship, every weak part of you, every habit that's been dragging you down. Pain is brutal, yes, but it's also brutally honest. It doesn't lie to you. It reveals you. It strips away the noise, the distractions, the masks, and puts you face to face with who you really are. Not who you pretend to be. Not the version they like, but the raw, trembling, wild version. Full of rage, full of scars, but also full of potential. Most people run from pain. They numb it, bury it, distract themselves until the feeling fades. But the ones who accept the invitation, the ones who stare back into the eyes of suffering and feel every ounce of it, they are never the same. They walk through the fire, not because they enjoy burning, but because they know there's something on the other side, something real, something permanent, something that isn't built on lies or luck. It's built on the ashes of everything that didn't kill them. You think this pain is your enemy? No. This pain is your mentor. It's here to teach you things comfort never could. Like how strong you are when everything collapses. Like how focused you become when there's no one left to lean on. Like how creative you get when the only way out is through. You scream into pillows, break down in showers, pace the floor like your brain's on fire. And somehow, some way you survive each day. Not because it's easy, but because there's something in you that refuses to quit. Pain invites you to wake up, to stop pretending, to rise like a creature they've never seen before. A version of you that laughs in the face of obstacles, that doesn't fear rejection, that doesn't care if they approve. Because now you've met pain, you've shaken hands with your own darkness, you've had full conversations with your rock bottom. And once you do that, you stop fearing everything else. They look at you and ask, why are you so cold now? Why don't you care like you used to? And the answer is simple. Because I've bled before. I've cried until my ribs hurt. I've held my own hand while the world walked away. I've survived storms that would drown most people. So no, I don't panic when things fall apart anymore. I don't break when people leave. I don't flinch when they insult me. I've been through worse. I felt worse. And now, I rise not because I have to. I rise because pain gave me a new language, a new identity, a new fire. I'm not rising to prove anything. I'm rising because that's what I do now. That's who I am now. I'm not fragile. I'm forged. And the ones who made me feel like pain would be my ending, they were wrong. It was my invitation, and I RSVP'd with a grin and a plane. So to you, the one reading this, the one feeling this in your chest right now, your pain is not your punishment. It's your push. It's your portal. And yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna test you. It's gonna bring you to your knee. But when it's done, when you stand back up with fire in your lungs and steel in your heart, the world better step back, because now you're not running from pain. You are the storm it created. They say you're hiding. They call you they whisper behind your back like they've solved the mystery of you. He's not real, they say. She's just acting. But what they don't understand, what they will never understand, is that the mask you wear isn't a lie. It's armor. It's survival. It's the result of nights spent staring at the ceiling with a racing mind. Of mornings you had to force yourself out of bed when the weight of the world sat on your chest like concrete. The smile, it's stitched together by fire. The silence, that's the sound of someone choosing peace over pointless explanation. You didn't wake up one day and decide to be cold. You were made cold, forged cold. You opened your heart too many times only to be played like a game no one told you the rules to. You trusted, you gave, you believed, until one day something inside you snapped. Not with anger, not with rage, but with this eerie kind of clarity, this whisper inside you that said enough. And from that moment you didn't become fake, you became focused. The mask isn't fake, it's the part of you that learned to smile in chaos. The part of you that learned how to nod when your mind was on fire. The part of you that learned how to blend when it wasn't safe to stand out. It's the barrier between your real self and a world that never knew what to do with. Because every time you showed your true feelings, they called you sensitive. Every time you opened up, they said you were too much. So you adapted. You evolved. You built a version of you that could walk through their world without falling apart. They laugh now and say you've changed, and you have. Because the old you didn't survive. The old you died in that one moment. That one betrayal, that one lie, that one night when everything went dark. And out of that grave you didn't rise soft. You didn't rise gentle. You rose wearing armor that sparkles like charm but is sharp like knives. You stopped giving out real pieces of you for free. You started protecting your peace like a crown. Because you know now not everyone deserves access to the real you. And sometimes even you forget where the mask ends and you begin. That's how well you've built it. That's how deep the damage went. But don't you dare call yourself fake. Don't you dare believe them when they say you're not authentic. You're not hiding. You're strategizing. You're calculating your safety. You're scanning the room. You're watching who deserves the real you and who only earned the mask. And the craziest part, the most powerful part, you still love, you still care, you still have softness inside you. But now it's guarded. You keep it behind gates, wrapped in barbed wire, surrounded by firewalls. They'll never crack, because that softness, that kindness, that heart, you finally learned that it's sacred. It's not for public use, it's not for applause. It's for you, and the rare few who show they can be trusted with it. So the next time they try to shame you for not being open or real, let them talk. Let them point fingers. Let them laugh. Because they don't know the battles you fought behind that calm face. They don't know the nights you almost gave up. They don't know that behind the mask is someone who's already survived what they couldn't even handle in their dreams. You're not fake. You're not a fraud. You're not lost. You're armored. And when the time is right, when the room is safe, when the energy is pure, you'll take that mask off. And the world will see who you've really been all along. And when they do, they'll wish they never pushed you far enough to need. So yeah, you really played that card, and now everything's spiraling out of control. But not for me. For you. Because I didn't just survive the storm, I became the storm. I transformed every wound, every betrayal, every silent scream into a weapon sharper than any blade. This isn't just a comeback, this is a rebirth. A rewrite of the whole game. And if you've been underestimated, broken, or pushed to the edge, this is your moment too. Rise in silence. Build in darkness. Let them watch from the sidelines while you become the nightmare they never saw coming.